Ladies and gentlemen, and monsters of all ages, let's fight another battle between littlescribe and coruscate this time. And this time I am going to analyze it for a little bit more advanced audience. Last time I talked a little bit more about the actual gameplay mechanics. This time we're going to talk a little bit more strategy. However, for those just joining in, I want to throw out there a couple of things. Let's talk about positioning. First, second, third, fourth, fifth. The fire beetle is in last. You're going to want to go over to SteemMonsters or SteemMonsters and check out the different stats. I have gone over there, and what we are finding is that all of these are max level cards. Okay? So that's the first thing. So before we ever even get to Coruscate's blue team, I want to give you a rundown of these cards. And so therefore, when we see what blue has, we'll have a better idea. Okay, first off, what I'm going to look at and show you is if there are any support type monsters on here. And we have the shaman, which is the shaman, I should say, which is a support card. The only support card on the red team, which is fine, there's usually only one support card. And the ability that I see down here is weaken and slow. Sorry, I just wanted to make sure that we had the best quality available for the screen recording. Okay, so we got weaken. So what is weaken going to do to the blue team? It is going to make their heart level, their health, one less. And then slow is going to make their speed level one less. So what I'm noticing right off the bat is that these speed levels are very high. One of the abilities of littlescribe's red team is higher on melee and higher on speed. So it's so we've got some very fast and some strong melees which are up front here. So that's the first thing I want to show off. All right, the speed and the melee have both gone up just one. There are no other support abilities on this team. We have, in first place, a very strong melee attacker who will undoubtedly, let's take a look at the blue team, but this one is most likely to be first, unless the blue team plays the shark. And even still, it may not happen because we have a slow element over here, so that would slow down the shark on that team. So this is going to be first. They have a lot of cards that are likely going to be first. So we got 2 melee attackers, a magic, and 2 ranged attackers. A melee attacker cannot attack unless they are in first position, unless they have sneak, which is what the kobold miner will have. So that is a very good advantage there. Then we have a support card, so we don't really have a lot of magic attack. Here on this team, we are focused a little bit more on melee and range. There's only 1 magic attack power. And the shaman, it doesn't really benefit its own team, it just hurts the other team. So one of the things we want to look at here is that these ranged are protected towards the end of the fight. If they get up here to the front of the fight in the first place, they will not be able to attack because you cannot use you've got this target symbol like an arrow. You cannot shoot someone right in front of you. You need to be a little bit farther back in the range. So that may come into play in the game. So let's take a look. In the first place, this is going to be one of the most important things. We have a guy that can dodge and can hurt someone if he is attacked. If he is attacked with melee. The thorns will not hurt someone that attacks him with ranged or magic attack. So let's take a look. 5 cards is quite a few. This card and this card will not be attacking the first guy. This has snipe and this has sneak. Blue is known for magic attacks. However, the shields and the blue and magic attacks go past the shields and hit directly to the health. The health on all these cards is quite high, 66677. However, the magic will hit directly to those health, and there's only 2 cards that have higher shields. So a magic attack like the blue team is good against teams with high shield rates. However, it doesn't really come into play this time. So let's go and let's hit this button and take a look at what we have on the blue team, and then decide before the gameplay even starts what we think is going to happen. All right, I've paused it here. Let's take a look. First thing that I notice, well, here we go. First place, second, third, and last position. And by place, I meant position. We have some very high shields. Now, that would be really good if littlescribe was a blue team and can circumvent those shields with some magic attackers. However, the only magic attacker is the shaman for 1 damage. Let's take a look at the first position, because that is often the most important one to understand the beginning of the game, at least. And this is the frozen soldier that has a shield and a magic reflect. So not only do they have a strong magic team because the blue team gives a additional benefit to this Medusa, now has a 4 magic attack. In fact, the strongest attack on the team is the magic attack. And we look here, this magic attack has a reflect. So the shaman is going to attack here and have it reflected right back at him. And that is going to be problematic. In fact, quite a few of them are going to attack here at this shaman. Okay. Continuing with the first place person here, we've got, the first position I should say again, we've got the shield, which will take, I will read it directly here. Monsters with shield take reduced damage from melee and ranged attacks. So this won't affect the shaman, but as we know, it has a magic reflect. So this frozen soldier is good against all 3 different types of attacks. And we'll see that come into play, that these numbers, which are incredibly high, won't go down that low. And why are they so high? Well, we will see over here that the support person on the blue team is the Crustacean King, with heal and protect as their abilities. So protect will increase their shield. It looks like it has increased the shield. Let me double check here. I believe 2 places. So I'm going to go over to blue. The shield that would be normal is a 2, and now the Crustacean King has a 4. So this protect right here is doing a lot here for everyone. So the shield is going to be a problem for the red team. That is a lot of shield. Also, group heal. So whereas the support person on red is focused on weakening and slowing the blue team, the support monster on blue is focused on helping his own team. So we also have a heal on the water element. We have stun, which may come into play. And when the Medusa stuns at the beginning, the first position person over here, that may make this guy lose a turn. So there we go. Let's start. Let's, I guess as they would say, get ready to rumble. And should we place it on 25, so 0.25 speed. So we're going to slow it down here and talk about that. So who's going to be first? And also let's look at all these speeds. Every single one of these are slower except for this 3 matches this 3. And it is a range, so it will go before this melee. But first up, we're going to have this 7 speed is going to go and is going to attack the frozen soldiers. This, ladies and gentlemen, is round 1. 8 minutes into the video, round 1, but this is more about education as well. So I want you to learn SteemMonsters. So it's going to attack. It is going to have less damage than the said 5 because it has a shield, a very large shield, and that was less damage than I expected. The next fastest one on this team is going to attack here. It is going to have an automatic 1 less to the heart. There you go. And it is going to reflect it. And 1 less to the heart we're going to see over here. We are in slow speed. That's going to make it so it's not so hectic. You're going to be able to follow the gameplay right as I speak. All right, the next one is the 5 over here is going to go after this one. Is going to give a -2. And then this is the next person. And -2 just went to the shield. And this one is going to go after the first ranged person. So the first ranged or magic is this one. And it took down the shields. Now the fastest one on the blue team goes before this one over here. And they are going to go after the first person and miss. This is the first time we see the 3 versus the 7 speed come into play. Now we have a sneak going after last place over here with a 5 attack, which is going to decimate that shield. -5 does not impact the heart because the shield took the full force of that blow. Then we've got the 2 coming out, going up against this one. We're going to see the thorns in action. Or we're just going to see a miss because a 2 against 7. That's the second time that they have done a miss. Now the slowest person on the field is going to be the Medusa with the 4 attack, which is going to very much hurt the 7 going down all the way to 3. And the last person on the team, I should say, is the ranged 1 speed going up against the first person. And there is a miss. So it's not only 1 against 7, but it's 1 against 7 with a dodge. Now we've got the Crustacean King healing his people. He got +1. And now we have another final attack here, or our first attack, which must means this guy got stunned. That may not be in the animation because this is the first person after this one. So they have reflected the 1 back at them down to 4 speed, and that really hurt littlescribe to not have that person go. They must have been stunned. That is my guess there. All right, so or there was another animation missing. We are quickly going to the next person. We are at the fire beetle, which is going to go after the first ranged with a -3, hurting that Medusa quite a bit. All right, we've got a ranged going after the soldier with a -4, decimates the shield, does not hurt the health. That is the function there. Now we've got a sneaky attack going against the Crustacean King. We'll see our first KO about to happen. A -5 attack, all they had left was 1. That is done. Now they lose. For the next round, they will lose the protect and the group heal. So at the end of this round, we will not see a group heal. And they've already lost the protect. So they are down on some shields. All right, now we've got the soldier coming up. The frost soldier with a 3 attack on the serpent soldier, and that is a KO. However, during that battle, there was a thorn attack back at the soldier with a -1 onto the shield, and at that point, they are off the board, and the second melee attacker, that is no problem, comes into the first position. And who do we got next? I've lost the count here. We've got the Medusa coming up with a 1 speed, 4 magic attack, coming up against the Kobold Miner now. That is going to hurt hard. And now we've got the 1 magic attack coming from the shaman at the soldier directly to the health, -1. Slowly chipping away. However, every time they're trading blow for blow, and the shaman is getting hurt every time because of this. Now we've got a ranged attack going up against the soldier. There's a -2. The shield is down now. And so now when they go after the first range attacker, that -3 should take off the Medusa off the board, which is going to have a good amount of impact because that was decimating with the extra magic power of blue. All right, now what do we have up next? We have the water elemental is going to take a 4 attack against the Kobold Miner and remove it from the board, which is really bad because next up we have a shaman with only 3 left. So either of these two could remove it from the board right away. And then what's going to happen? You're going to have two ranged attackers in succession in first position, which means no more attacking. So here you go. This is the end of the game coming right up. I know there's two more up on red, but oh, no, there is a miss, first of all. A 2 going against a 5. There is a miss. It does happen because of the speed differential. Now we've got a 1 against the soldier here, but with the reflect, we're going down to 2. It didn't matter anyways because they have a 4 and a 3. So unless the shaman can keep on missing, it's not looking good for the red team. The same thing would have happened if we had cleared the board over here. However, this is only going to hit for 2 instead of 3 because of the shield. If it had hit for 3 and cleared the board, the game would have been over on the blue team. And if the fire beetle had not sniped and gone after the water elemental, but had gone after the soldier, it would have been over for the blue team. However, that's not what happened. There's a 4 attack against the shaman, and now the game ends when the ranged goes into first position. So now we're just going to see a quick succession of decimation. Moving up to the first position is the fire demon with a ranged attack. 2 ranged attacks in a row doesn't bode too well for end of game. It was great during the beginning of the game. So we've got a miss, so he lives to do nothing another day. And we've got a snipe coming in. Unfortunately, not going after the first person in this case is going to be the problem yet again. Even if they had cleared the board of the water elemental, what they want to clear is the melee off the board. So we've got some good amount of health left. The 3 against the 5 did not produce a miss, which is unfortunate. And here we go. A 3 against a 2 heart, -3, and gone. So that puts the fire beetle in first position with a 3 and a 6. 3 shield and 6 heart. Moving to first position, the fire beetle, which can do nothing as a ranged fighter in first position. They are too close to the front line. They need to be up on a hill, away from the action. Here you go. -4 over there. The shields are down. A 3 attack is coming up. And they're just taking turns at that poor beetle. And we can kind of speed up this game, as now it's slow. We know the ending already. We're speeding up. We'll go to 0.75. And they're going to keep healing themselves as well. Well, the water elemental will. And even if he misses, he's not attacking. So it's just the inevitable. That is the end of the game. But we knew that the end of the game happened much earlier. There you go. The winner was coruscate. Let's go back here and see when the game was ending. Or why the game went in that favor. The game went in that favor, in particular, the Crustacean King didn't actually last all that long. However, lasted long enough to give shields to his teammates, and then when he was gone and not able to give shield to his teammates, it was fine because what he had given had already been knocked out. So in this case, the Crustacean King Protect doesn't necessarily need to last the whole round. Sometimes you want to really protect a support monster so that they can give you the support the whole round. But something like Protect just needs it for the first few rounds when they get hit, because those shields are gone anyways. Also, what else is happening? The Frozen Soldier really won the game for blue, in my opinion, because of the magic reflect and the shield. The shield was a huge factor. The shield down here and the shield over here. It started with a huge shield, 9, and it had the ability to take away 2 to every attack. So when they were going with a 5 attack, he was getting a 2 to 3. When he was coming with a 5, or when he was coming with a 1, it could go right at it, but the magic shield reflected back. The real MVP of this team was the Frozen Soldier, and that is not the first time, I may add, that we have seen an animation with the Frozen Soldier being the hero of a game, or for their team at least. Anyway, if you have any questions, leave them below, and congratulations to coruscate, who has won a game. Thank you, and do you like my announcer voice? Please subscribe and click the thumbs up. You don't do that on Steam, I know. But we look forward to seeing more games like this.